All right, welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It's another edition of Ask the County. Of course, we have joining us this morning Saginaw County Treasurer Tim Novak. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning today.
Yes, it's 4th of July. Happy 4th of July
Yes,
to
it is.
you.
Happy 4th.
Sweet time.
Independence Day is upon us.
Yes, it is. We love it. All right, but also upon us is paying property taxes. We love this topic. So today we're talking about what you need to know before your summer taxes are due. When are they due, Tim, and how can people pay for them?
So every year on July 1st and December 1st, you get a property tax bill. So whether it comes in the mail or not, you want to make sure that you're responsible for that. And I know a lot of folks use their escrow account and stuff like that. And that's always not a bad thing to check on. At least if your bank makes a mistake and forgets, at least you have an outlet. But if you don't have that type of outlet where you're in an escrow, you paid off your mortgage and you forget, which some friends of mine have run into that problem this past year. So you just want to make sure that it's coming in the mail, and if it doesn't come, you're responsible to pay for it.
Gotcha. Let's talk about the summer property tax deferment.
Yeah, so this is an option folks have. So the due date for the summer tax bill is September 15th.
Okay.
So in lieu of that, if you're have an income under $40,000 a year and you're either 62 years of age or older, a qualified service member, or you're permanently disabled, you qualify for what's called a deferment. And it's a form that you'll file at your local treasurer's office, and that allows you to extend your tax deadline for your summer taxes to February 28th.
Okay, and so,
without penalty.
Without penalty. That was what I was going to ask next. Is like, say you didn't do that and you didn't get a deferment, you don't pay your tax. What are the penalties, consequences?
So there are penalties. There's interest and penalties that accrue starting on September 15th. So if you don't pay your summer bill, it starts accruing, and then of course you have your December bill that's going to come out in December, and that's the same thing. Those are both due by February 28th to be paid at the local treasurer's office. That's what happens after that. That's when they get turned over to the county, and they're called what we call delinquent.
Okay, so pay them at the office?
Pay them at your either city hall, your township office. Typically, the same place you'd pay your water bill.
Okay.
Is the same place you can pay your local taxes that are coming due. I got mine yesterday. I believe I got mine in the mail. So.
All right. So what happens if someone receives a tax bill?
So like if they receive one and if they don't receive one?
Yeah.
So if they don't receive one, so you want to make sure that you contact, if it's an address change. A lot of times this happens if somebody buys a house and the files that were used, the mailing list didn't match up with maybe when you purchased the house. And so those things kind of have to wiggle their way through. Well, if you bought the house in June, you're responsible for that tax bill that comes in July. And typically if you used a title company or you use a real estate agent to your closing, they'll handle that portion, right? We pro rata, you owe this before, I owe this after, things like that. But if that doesn't happen, if maybe just a quick sale between two people, you're responsible if you didn't square that up as you go through. Wow. So don't think if you didn't get it that I don't owe any money to the local.
Walking scotch-free. Huh?
Yeah, and those are super important. I mean, the property taxes are what local governments use to, that's what we use predominantly to fund our operations.
Yeah.
So those are the things that keep us safe from police, fire, keep us healthy from the health department, all kinds of different services. So we don't like to pay taxes. I totally get it, right?
Right.
But they're necessary, and they fund those local operations that are so important to us.
Yeah, I didn't. It's really interesting to see that connection. Just so people who do have some doubts. Those who pay property taxes may have heard of a board of review. So can you just describe what it is? Is this a meeting, or what is the purpose?
Yeah, so they have these are by law, they have to have them. So every couple times a year. So July's, they'll have one in July, the third week of July. All local governments will have boards of review. These are more along the lines for clerical errors, homestead corrections, poverty exemptions, and things like that. There's probably the one that we're more familiar with would be the one in March, and that's where when in February you get your tax valuation statement, and at that point in time you get a chance to maybe appeal that. You say, listen, my house isn't worth this much. You're overvaluating my house, which drives my tax bill up. So that's where you would go in, and then you can question where they came up with the numbers. And they use comparables and sales comparables and your things like that. So it's not something they just throw an amount at the wall. But It is something, it's an opportunity for us. Remember, it's a taxation with representation now, right? So this is why our founding fathers went to file for claimed independence, was because they didn't feel they didn't have that.
Right.
So boards of review are a method that we as citizens and residents get to sort of keep an eye on our tax rates.
All about our independence, really, if you think about it.
It is, it is.
That's so cool. All right, Tim, anything else that we should know?
Just be safe tonight. And I know we've kind of had a run on 4 or 5 nights of fireworks, I think.
Yeah.
But tonight's the big night, and stay safe when you're out there and let the professionals handle it.
Are you going out?
We are. So we watch the Saginaw fireworks every year. We just love it. So
Yeah.
it's another family tradition.
I love it. Cool. Yeah, and they watched the hot dog eating
We
contest.
do. We watch Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest every year at noon on the 4th of July.
All right.
So,
Very
oh,
good.
Joey Chestnut once again.
That's right. Very good. All right, Tim, appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. If you have questions that you would like to ask the county yourself, send them to us at WNEM@WNEM.com. We'll be right back.